Welcome back to Talking Interesting. I'm Alvin, and today we're diving into a topic that's been gripping human imagination for centuries: apocalyptic scenarios. From zombie outbreaks to nuclear annihilation, the end of the world fascinates us. But why? Why do we as a society seem so obsessed with imagining our own demise? Today, we'll explore the psychology, history, and cultural impact of apocalyptic thinking, and why it just refuses to die, no matter how long we wait or how much society changes. Whether you're a die-hard fan of end-of-the-world movies, or just curious about why we can't seem to stop fantasizing about our own annihilation, this episode is for you. Let's start with a simple question. Why do we love stories about the end of the world? Think about it. Some of the most popular books, movies, and TV shows are premised on this topic. The Walking Dead, Mad Max, The Road, and so many others. Even the old myths and religious scriptures have apocalyptic stories. Psychologists tell us that our preoccupation with the end times is a matter of our desire for meaning. Apocalyptic stories give us a sense of certainty. They reduce the complexity of modern life to its essentials: survival, meaning, and human connection. In a twisted way, imagining these end makes us rethink how we're living now, and the other root cause may be control. In a chaotic world, the dream of an apocalypse enables us to fantasize about a reboot, a chance of building something better from the ashes. It's like pressing the reset button on civilization. We like to see characters survive and thrive amidst impossible odds because it appeals to our hope that even when everything falls apart, we'll survive. But why does the obsession peak at certain times? Historically, apocalyptic tales surge in popularity when societies are faced with uncertainty or change. During the Cold War, nuclear Armageddon was a big fear. Movies such as Dr. Strangelove and The Day After mirrored such fears. In the 21st century, our apocalyptic fears are different. Climate change, pandemics, and artificial intelligence are the obsessions of modern scenarios. Take COVID-19, for example. At the height of the pandemic, movies pertaining to viral outbreaks saw a resurgence. Why? Because these stories allowed us to process our fears in a controlled fictional environment. Experts tell us we watch apocalyptic entertainment to process collective fears. A psychological dress rehearsal for catastrophe. It's a way of feeling prepared, even if the preparedness is just fictional. Let's get somewhat personal. Part of the appeal is undoubtedly the fantasy of surviving when others do not. Apocalyptic stories do have a tendency to include unlikely heroes, ordinary people rising to the occasion. Think Katniss Everdeen from The Hunger Games, or Joel and Ellie from The Last of Us. We like to think that if the world were to end, we'd be equally resourceful and resilient. There's a sense of freedom in believing that you'd be one of the survivors, the one who lives through the chaos while others die. It's a highly personal challenge. Would I live? Would I be one of those who could start over? These questions appeal to our instincts, which is why apocalyptic fiction feels almost primal. Philosophically, apocalyptic stories have a tendency to explore the concept of endings as beginnings. Nietzsche once said, "What doesn't kill you makes you stronger." In a sense, an apocalypse is the ultimate test of that hypothesis. It destroys, but also replenishes, offering a chance to burn away the old and usher in the new. They refer to it in literature as a death and rebirth cycle. Civilizations die, but from the rubble, a new kind of life emerges. It's a tragedy, but it's also full of hope. That paradox, destruction leading to rebirth, mirrors the way we think about personal growth. Sometimes our own lives have to symbolically fall apart before we can rebuild them. Interestingly, there are sociologists who claim that reading and viewing apocalyptic content is a subconscious way of preparing ourselves. The more we subject ourselves to these scenarios, the more psychologically ready we are if the unthinkable were to occur. It's a fire drill for the soul. This idea harks back to the ancient human instinct to foresee threats and prepare against them. Just as our predecessors gazed into the horizon for indications of threat, we now gaze into our media landscape for intimations of social collapse. It's not rational, perhaps, but it's quintessentially human. Before we wrap up, it's important to remember that our obsession with apocalyptic fiction isn't all doom and gloom. These stories also point to human ingenuity, compassion, and the will to survive. On their most basic level, they're survival stories. Even after everything else collapses, the human spirit continues. Maybe that's the real reason we can't get enough of the apocalypse. It isn't about the end. It's about how we start again. Thank you for tuning in to Talking Interesting. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe and share with your friends. What do you believe apocalyptic futures are about? Fear or hope? Tell me in the comments or on social media. Until next time, remain curious and maybe keep a survival kit handy, just in case.